Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this one, we are talking about charisma. I'm gonna teach you how to become charismatic step by step. Before I begin this video, I'd like to warn that everything that I say in this video is strictly my opinion, my thoughts, my ideas, my experience. You don't have to agree with them if you don't want to, but if I can actually somehow give you some interesting ideas, or maybe they're gonna be helpful for you, I'm gonna be glad. So I have noticed that charisma is something that we oftentimes see in movies, in TV shows, and of course you can define charisma however you want. But for me, charisma is an ability to charm people and be likable. Now, we could actually define it with more words, but briefly and shortly, that's what I think it is. So let's jump right into the video. The first thing is, I believe all charismatic people have this ability to have a very deep eye contact. Now, having an eye contact is an indicator of either confidence or interest in the person. I mean, it's obvious if you're not looking at the person when you're having a conversation, probably it means you're just not interested in the conversation. But it also is a very strong indicator that you are confident. You can actually have a deep eye contact with the person and notice more than just the color of his or her eye. Now, this one's very important in social interactions, in an interview maybe, or with friends. It could be anything, but when you're having an eye contact, you can actually have an intimate relationship or intimate, let's say, situation with the person. It doesn't really matter who the person is. That was the first one. Now, second thing I believe all charismatic people have in common is they ask interesting questions. Guys, this is huge actually. I notice all the time, and I do that myself too. Like, we oftentimes ask very boring questions. Imagine when you see your friend, what's the question that you ask? Hey, how are you? Or how's it going? And these questions don't really mean anything. We just ask them just to ask them. And I understand there is a place for small talk, but if you want to attract people to your side, I think it is crucial for you to ask interesting questions. Now, I'm gonna throw a couple of examples. One of them could be, imagine you're on a date with a girl. Instead of asking, what's your profession or how are you? All of these boring questions. What if you asked, if you had 24 hours in this earth, what would you do? Or if you had an ability to do anything in this world, or like a superpower, what would that be? All of these questions that actually trigger your mind to work harder and to come up with more interesting answers than just simply saying a couple of not interesting words. So asking interesting questions can be a very quick way to make other people interested in you, or maybe get interested in other people, actually scale a relationship to a next level. That was two. The third thing that I believe all charismatic people do or have in common is they compliment. They're not afraid to give compliments. But don't confuse this with flattery. I noticed that a lot of times we just give out some words that we don't actually mean. When you are a person of abundance, when you are confident in yourself, and when you don't lack, let's say, compliments from other people, you can actually come from a place of abundance and give compliments to other people. Appreciate what's around you. Be grateful for whatever it is around you. You could easily notice some things in your friends and give compliments like, hey, I like your shoes, they look fresh, or something like this. Giving compliments can be, sure as hell, one of the easiest ways to actually build a better, let's say, a bond with the friends or with the people around you. The next one is all charismatic people have in common. I think this is vulnerability. Now, I've heard about this experiment where two models are hired to promote a blender. Now, the first model is, she's pitch perfect, does everything perfect, professional, handles the job perfectly. Another model, she spills the fruit juice all over the table and all over herself, and it is a disaster, it's a catastrophe. But the results show something different. The woman who spilled the fruit juice all over herself triggered people to buy more. Like, she just sold more products of that blender. This is a very interesting experiment to me, as when you are vulnerable, people actually relate to you and it makes you more likable. The last thing I believe all charismatic people have in common is smile. Now, I know this sounds simple, but I just think that we take smiling for granted. Like, we walk around like zombies in the streets and don't really smile. Even if you compare these two photos, you can actually see which one is more likable, which person is gonna be more attractive, and I think we should be doing more of it. Alright guys, these are the traits that I believe can make you charismatic, and I'm definitely sure it's gonna boost your confidence, charisma, self-esteem. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'm gonna see you in the next one.